Ian from Fig Tree Pocket says, Olympic Dam issues are impacting copper production, such as last year's major shutdown and now the recent plant outage. How confident are you that there'll be no further surprises impacting copper production in South Australia?
I'll first say to you, Ian, that the only surprise there, in my view, because it was a relatively modest late start back up from the shutdown, which I'll come back to, was the loss of the acid plant. That's something, of course, we regret, but we have fixed it, and as we speak, it's ramping back up to full capacity. Olympic Dam is a challenge for us, and it's a challenge that we're going to meet head on. It's the only business that we have that is now not offering substantial returns well into double digits. Now with shale gone, everything else in the portfolio is performing at what we think is a very respectable and high return basis. So given that's the only one, we're now able to really focus on it to make sure we can lift its game up to the level of the rest of the company. And we have to do that. I mean, it's a phenomenal ore body, very high grades, in a very favourable environment to invest. I'm talking about South Australia there, which is very business friendly, very mining friendly, and those grades tend not to decline with time. It's been built as an underground mine with a relatively complicated processing facility on top of it. If we did it again today, it would be much, much simpler. More in line with what we have, for example, at Escondida. But we are where we are, and so we have to make both the underground mine efficient and we have to make that processing plant work. So that's why we took the shutdown. Wasn't surprised. We made it clear we're going to have to shut it down for the better part of half a year in order to lift performance and lift the reliability of performance. And before we had the acid plant issue, it was actually producing some near record performances through the smelter and the refinery. The acid plant issue was very unfortunate because the Olympic Dam asset requires a lot of acid to run, and without that acid being produced as a byproduct of smelting, then we couldn't really run the whole operation. But that's now fixed, and I expect we'll get back to some of those near record performances pretty quickly. The other thing we have to accept is that for a long time, this asset was assumed it would move into an open pit. And that meant we really didn't invest enough in the underground mine that was going to be replaced. We've changed that all now. We don't think the open pit can work, and we have to now take the much more complicated, largest underground mine in Australia and make it even bigger, and to run with the precision that we would take for granted in an open pit. And when we do that, and we're on our way to do that, then it will be very expandable, and it will have a very important role to play. You've heard my comments about the importance of copper in renewables and so on, and in electric vehicles for many decades to come, and we're on it.